Hey guys, this is Chris of Team Darkstar, and my friends at Locals and stuff told me to do like a weekly card thing, basically just like talk about one card, a special card once a week. So I figured why not, it sounds fun. So I was going over some cards, and I found Royal Oppression to be a good discussion, I guess. And after we're done discussing that, I'm going to give some tips and answer some questions that a couple of guys asked me about some normal cards that are in play today. So we're going to go ahead and start off with, I guess I'll give you some card tips about it. Basically, the whole thing about Royal Oppression is you have to know the ins and outs of how to play it. That is what you have to know in order to get the most out of Royal Oppression. A lot of people I noticed misplay this card a lot. So the most important things to remember are that it can be flipped up and activated in response to somebody's special summon of any monster that does that. Basically that will give you the element of surprise, and it'll also just like creep your opponent out, and most of the time they won't try to special summon once it's there. And I have to say, a lot of people misplay when Royal Oppression is there. They try to play Cold Wave, and they'll say that it doesn't stop. It gets under Cold Wave. Cold Wave doesn't negate it. I have to say the truth. Cold Wave does stop Royal Oppression for at least a turn or two. So a lot of people get that in your minds, and you got to remember that Cold Wave stops Royal Oppression. A lot of people in my locals have been misplaying a lot. The positives about Royal Oppression is that just about every deck that you see today is based off of special summons, like blackwings or GBs, or like maybe some synchro decks or light sworns especially. So duelists are going to look for any way to stop you from getting those special summons, and I think that's why for the last year or so that I've seen that Royal Oppression has got so much play. I mean, I've even seen people running it in their blackwings, which is a deck based off of special summoning. And a lot of people don't know, or you might know, that Royal Oppression can be used by either player, no matter on whose side of the field it is. So on another point, it has some negatives. I guess while Royal Oppression can stop multiple summons, it's virtually useless against Cold Wave, like I said. And Cold Wave is a card often used before the opponent makes a game-changing move. So your opponent can also use this card against you, either forcing you to change your deck drastically or try to shut you down, basically. The thing is, you have to be very clever in how you play Royal Oppression. Another thing, many players prefer other cards, like maybe Black Horn of Heaven, maybe, since they don't really backfire on them. I mean, that's what I thought of as Black Horn of Heaven. It won't really backfire on me. It'll just, stop a special summon. However, Royal Oppression is much more versatile in what it could negate. Like, for example, it cannot stop Monster Reborn. The reason is, I really don't know what the reason is. I think it's because Monster Reborn, it doesn't have an exact target, because it could pull out of either player's graveyard and multiple targets it can bring, whereas if you're special summoning something out of your hand or the deck, that is a target. You're going to target a Bora if you have a Sure on the field and you want to special summon a Gale or a Bora. That's targeting. Monster Reborn is not targeting. However, it can stop Call of the Haunted, because Call of the Haunted is targeting one card. Since it's out of your graveyard, it's going to target that one card. So Call of the Haunted is stopped by Royal Oppression. Monster Reborn is not. So I guess the last word on it is, I guess as long as there's big nasty decks out there, and huge powerful monsters in basically every deck, Royal Oppression will always be a great option for any deck wishing to disrupt any form of meta. 800 life points is not a lot to stop a Dark Arm or a Judgment or like a Stardust or something. So basically just, you know, be careful when you use it and try to think of different ways to creep your opponent out, and just be creative when you use it and be clever. So my last rating, I will give 1 plus and 1 con, 1 pro and 1 con. The pro is it's a small cost for a great effect, and it can be used multiple times, which is awesome. The con is that it falls to cold wave and that your opponents can use it. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And I guess I'll give you guys a deck list. You can look under more info and just click on the right, and I'll provide a deck list, which it's going to be a deck list that really takes advantage of Royal Oppression's effect. And that's that, and I'm going to answer some questions right about now. James writes, if I already have a light imprisoning mirror on the field and I normal summon a majestic mech Oka without a tribute, will Oka destroy itself during the end phase? The answer is no. Light imprisoning mirror will negate majestic mech Oka's attempt to destroy itself. Therefore, it basically won't die if light imprisoning mirror is on the field. Another question that somebody asked me is, how does Orcus, Lightsworn Druid, react with your own Lumina Lightsworn Summoner? The answer is Orcus prevents Lightsworn monsters on the field or in the graveyard from being targeted by your opponent or you. So basically, while Orcus is on the field, you may not activate Lumina's effect. A lot of people misplay with that, and they think they can just go ahead and do whatever they want to do with Lumina. The answer is no. Let's see, another question here was about a Royal Oppression. Actually, that's perfect. Question was by Pyro King. He writes, if I try to special summon a Dark-Armed Dragon from my hand and my opponent responds with Royal Oppression, may I use Torrential Tribute to clear the field? Ooh, Royal Oppression negates special summoning, which means the monster never hit the field, and I guess as a result Torrential can't be activated since it never hit the field. I mean, it stood up in the air just as he was about to drop it, so you can't activate Torrential, so there's no reaction you could do to that except maybe Trap Stun or something. And we only have time for one more. Another question from Mr. Jones. He writes, if my opponent attacks a monster with a Gladiator Beast and I activate enemy controller, tributing a second monster and taking their beast that attacked me, what would happen? It's a little confusing. Answer. I guess if you activate Econ and you take control of their Glad before the end of the battle phase, you can send the beast back to the opponent's deck to special summon a Glad from your own deck. This is for mirror matches, I guess. You have to be able to summon a Glad in order to send a Glad back to your opponent's deck. That's about the best answer I could give you. So, another note on Econ. Econ is a great card for Glad Beasts in the mirror patch. A lot of people don't think so. I think so. So that's about it. And guys, leave some comments, and anything would be appreciated. Any comments or anything, and please rate and subscribe. And this has been our Yu-Gi-Oh! Weekly Star Card. Thanks. Oh, and we will be back next week with a star card of Econ. Thanks a lot.